On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
From.
To produce a continuous, low, monotonous sound, often with a vibrating or humming quality. Noun, a continuous rhythmic humming or drumming sound.
Examples:
Thrum nervously. The thrum of the engine. The rain began to thrum on the roof, providing a steady rhythm that soothed me to sleep.
Enrage.
To make someone extremely angry.
Examples:
Enrage the international community. Enrage critics. The news of the betrayal enraged him.
Exaggeration.
An overstatement of facts or description, the act of making something seem larger, more important, or more significant than it is.
Examples:
Sensational exaggeration. Minimal exaggeration. His story was filled with obvious exaggerations.
Misrepresent.
To present a false or misleading interpretation or impression of something or someone.
Examples:
Misrepresent a company's policies. Misrepresent the situation. The article misrepresents the true intentions of the author's argument.
Likeable.
Having qualities that make a person or thing well-liked or attractive, pleasant, friendly, or enjoyable.
Examples:
Likeable personality. A likeable character. He's a very likeable person who makes friends easily.
Unvoiced.
Not spoken aloud or expressed verbally, tacit or silent in communication or expression.
Examples:
Unvoiced whisper. Unvoiced speech. The unvoiced consonant in the word knock is the K sound.
Veranda.
A roofed platform along the outside of a building, typically furnished and used as a sitting area, a porch or balcony.
Examples:
Veranda seating. Traditional veranda design. The couple enjoyed their coffee on the veranda while watching the sunset.
Dumbfound.
To surprise and confuse someone to the point of being unable to speak.
Examples:
Dumbfound boxing fans. Dumbfound with its ability. The magician's tricks dumbfounded the audience.
Humid.
Having a high amount of moisture or water vapor in the air, damp, muggy.
Examples:
Humid climate. Uncomfortably humid. The air was so humid that my clothes felt damp.
Shatter.
To break suddenly into many pieces.
Examples:
Shatter the plate. Shatter a world record. Her husband's death shattered her life entirely.
Cheerful.
Happy and positive, causing feelings of happiness or optimism, marked by or expressing joy or optimism.
Examples:
Cheerful smile. A cheerful disposition. Her cheerful personality brightened up the room.
Frightening.
Causing fear or alarm, or very surprising and alarming.
Examples:
Cast frightening eyes. Frightening experience. The news of the pandemic was a frightening reminder of the fragility of human health.
Indignity.
An affront to one's dignity or self-respect, an insult or humiliating treatment.
Examples:
Indignity of poverty. Suffer an indignity. Being demoted at work was a great indignity to him.
Disdain.
To look down on.
Examples:
Disdain the offer of a bribe. Disdain the policeman. Even in the Middle Ages, people disdained forced labor.
Sever.
To break or separate something by cutting, especially suddenly and forcibly.
Examples:
Sever a rope. Sever a positive relationship. He severed a branch from a tree quickly.
Masculinity.
The qualities or attributes traditionally associated with men, such as physical strength, courage, assertiveness, and so on, the state of being male or manly.
Examples:
Masculinity norms. Toxic masculinity. Research has shown that rigid ideas of masculinity can contribute to domestic violence and other forms of abuse.
Renounce.
To formally declare one's abandonment or rejection of something, especially a belief, claim, or right, to give up or relinquish a particular status, title, or position.
Examples:
Renounce a claim. Renounce citizenship. He renounced his title and lived a simpler life as a farmer.
Deferential.
Showing or expressing respect or obedience, yielding to someone else's opinions or judgment.
Examples:
Deferential attitude. Deferential language. The new employee was deferential and respectful towards his superiors.
Deference.
Respectful or polite submission or yielding to the judgment, opinion, or wishes of another person or group, a show of respect or honor.
Examples:
Deference to authority. Pay deference. The students showed deference to their teacher by always being respectful in class.
Tame.
To make wild animals domesticated or controlled, especially through specific training. Adjective, not dangerous or afraid of people, either naturally or because of specific training.
Examples:
Tame a wild beast. A tame animal. We have to tame substantial financial deficits at first.
Bifurcate.
To divide or split into two branches or parts.
Examples:
Bifurcate at the top of the mountain. Bifurcate into two separate tracks. The river bifurcates ahead, so we must decide which branch to take.
Spoil.
To ruin the taste, appearance, or quality of something. To become or cause something to become rotten or bad.
Examples:
Spoil a person's sport. Spoil the surprise. If you leave the milk out of the refrigerator for too long, it will spoil.
Shrill.
High-pitched and piercing in sound, loud, sharp, and harsh.
Examples:
Make a shrill noise. Shrill cry. The shrill sound of the whistle startled the entire crowd.
Nag.
To annoy or irritate someone persistently with repeated complaints, requests, or criticism. Noun, an old or overworked horse.
Examples:
Nag about the minor thing. Nag political leaders. She couldn't stop nagging her husband to take out the trash.
Confound.
To confuse or perplex, to mix up or throw into disorder, to prove to be false or illogical.
Examples:
Confound right and wrong. Confound the problem. The unexpected events confounded the scientists, who had to rethink their hypothesis.
Harass.
To annoy, torment, or pester persistently, to subject someone to repeated or chronic attacks or unwelcome attention.
Examples:
Harass the enemy. Harass with constant criticism. She was constantly harassed by her ex-boyfriend and had to get a restraining order.
Predatory.
Living by eating other animals, especially by catching prey that is still alive.
Examples:
A predatory bird. Predatory warfare. The domesticated cat still has its predatory instincts.
Tangle.
A confused mass of something twisted together.
Examples:
In a tangle. Tangle wires. The cords behind my computer were a tangled mess.
Retaliation.
The act of seeking vengeance or revenge in response to a perceived wrong or harm suffered, usually to cause harm to the person or group responsible for the initial act.
Examples:
Retaliation tactics. Retaliation against discrimination. The company faced heavy retaliation from its competitors after releasing a controversial product.
Mockery.
The act of ridiculing or making fun of someone or something, often in a contemptuous or mocking manner.
Examples:
Mockery of the situation. Public mockery. The comedian's mockery of the recent political scandal drew laughs from the crowd.
Banal.
Lacking originality, creativity, or freshness, uninteresting or dull, due to being overused or overly familiar.
Examples:
Banal conversation. Banal plot. The restaurant's menu had a banal selection of generic dishes with no unique or exciting options.
Glee.
A feeling of great happiness, joy, or pleasure, often accompanied by laughter or exuberance, a sense of delighted satisfaction from a positive result or accomplishment.
Examples:
Jumping for glee. Glee club. The children's faces were filled with glee as they ran around the playground.
Platitude.
A trite or overused remark or statement that is lacking in originality or insight, often used to express a general truth or sentiment. An empty or insincere remark that is meant to sound comforting or supportive.
Examples:
Cliched platitude. Utter platitude. The philosopher's speech was filled with platitudes and lacked any real substance.
Afterward.
After the time mentioned.
Examples:
A few years afterward. Go there afterward. We will explain the countermeasure concerning this problem afterward.
Tempting.
Likely to attract or persuade someone to do something, especially something that may not be wise or safe.
Examples:
Tempting offer. Sound very tempting. The chocolate cake was too tempting for me to resist.
Preempt.
To act in advance, to prevent something or to replace it with something else.
Examples:
Preempt a financial crisis. Preempt trouble. The government preempted the release of sensitive information.
Entitle.
To give someone the right to have or do something. To give a title to someone or something.
Examples:
Entitle him to a pension. Entitle the company to use the logo. The employee was entitled to a week of vacation time.
Rampant.
Especially of something bad or unwelcome, flourishing or spreading everywhere in a way that cannot be controlled.
Examples:
Rampant growth of weeds. Rampant corruption. In an overly protective industry, violations of the ethics rules tend to be rampant.
Microcosm.
A miniature or small-scale version of something that represents the larger whole or system, a representation of society or culture on a smaller scale.
Examples:
Soil microcosm. Environmental microcosm. The small town felt like a microcosm of the larger society.
Intensify.
To increase or make something increase in extent or strength.
Examples:
Intensify diplomatic efforts. Intensify a good relationship. Rebels have pledged to intensify the armed struggle against the dictatorship.
Ruminate.
To think deeply about something, to ponder.
Examples:
Ruminate about the past. Ruminate over a problem. After a long work day, she likes to ruminate on her accomplishments and planned for the next day.
Mull.
To think over carefully, to consider or ponder, to mix or stir thoroughly.
Examples:
Mull ways to retaliate. Mull a decision. I need to mull over the job offer before making a decision.
Palatable.
Having a pleasant or acceptable taste, pleasing or agreeable to the mind or senses, easily tolerated or accepted.
Examples:
Palatable food. Palatable solution. I'm usually a picky eater, but the seafood at this restaurant was surprisingly palatable.
Precarity.
The state of being uncertain or precarious, especially about work or income, a condition of existence characterized by the absence or constant threat of basic security, such as financial stability, physical safety, or access to health care.
Examples:
Precarity index. Global precarity. Low-paid workers in the hospitality industry often find themselves in a state of financial precarity.
Objectify.
To treat or represent someone or something as an object, without regard for their dignity or worth, to view or depict someone as a mere physical entity rather than as a complex person with feelings, thoughts, and desires.
Examples:
Objectify the individual. Sexually objectify. The media tends to objectify women by focusing on their physical appearance rather than accomplishments.
Autoimmune.
Relating to a condition in which the body's immune system attacks and destroys healthy body tissue, mistaking it for harmful foreign substances.
Examples:
Insulin autoimmune syndrome. Autoimmune disorder. The presence of certain substances triggered the autoimmune response.
Buttress.
An architectural structure that supports or reinforces a wall or other building feature. Verb, to support or reinforce something.
Examples:
Reinforce with a buttress. Buttress your thesis. Massive buttresses supported the ancient castle.
Quo.
The existing state or condition of something, especially in relation to a particular situation or issue.
Examples:
Status quo politician. Quo warranto. The company has been successful in maintaining the status quo.
Nurture.
To take care of, feed, and protect someone or something while they are growing and developing.
Examples:
Nurture love. Nurture his talents. Schools should nurture children's mutual interest spirit.
Patriarchal.
Relating to or characteristic of a society or system in which men hold the dominant roles and positions of power, male-dominated.
Examples:
Patriarchal society. Patriarchal government. The patriarchal system that many societies have is outdated and unfair to women.
Xenophobia.
Extreme fear or hatred of people from other countries.
Examples:
Suffer from xenophobia. Linguistic xenophobia. The xenophobia in society makes it hard for immigrants to assimilate and integrate.
Purview.
The range or scope of authority, responsibility, or influence of a particular person, group, or organization.
Examples:
The purview of the committee. Beyond the purview of the law. The issue falls within the purview of the legal department.
Apologetic.
Feeling or expressing regret, remorse, or sorrow for one's actions, making an apology or expressing an excuse for something.
Examples:
Apologetic tone. Apologetic letter. He was apologetic for being late to the meeting.
Intimacy.
Close familiarity or friendship, a close, familiar, and usually affectionate or loving personal relationship with another person.
Examples:
On terms of intimacy. Build intimacy. They were looking for intimacy in their relationship and wanted to be close to each other.
Solver.
A thinker who finds an answer to a problem or a difficult situation, a piece of software or the algorithm that solves a mathematical problem.
Examples:
Puzzle solver. Linear solver. The flow solver is validated against the experiment.
Fury.
Intense and often violent anger.
Examples:
Market fury. Fury of the storm. The crowd's fury was palpable as they shouted and protested against the government's decision.
Macho.
Characterized by a strong sense of masculinity or male dominance, often in a way that is perceived as arrogant or aggressive.
Examples:
Macho culture. Maintain a macho image. His macho posturing was just a cover for his insecurities and lack of confidence.
Fascist.
Relating to or supporting fascism, which is a political ideology that emphasizes authoritarian government, nationalism, and suppression of political opposition and individual liberties.
Examples:
Fascist propaganda. Fascist policies. The regime was accused of being fascist for their oppressive tactics.
Antidote.
A chemical substance or remedy that stops or controls the effects of a poison or disease.
Examples:
The antidote to the poison. The antidote for aging. Knowledge is the antidote to fear.
Empathy.
The ability to share another person's feelings or experiences by imagining that person's situation.
Examples:
Full of empathy. Empathy for patients. Empathy is also necessary to understand history.